We are going to be talking today. Richard's from Hal Will Manor in Devon. Thank you for sharing that. Great, great. As I said, if any of you want to share which care home provider you represent, that'd be great. Anyway, so this is about how one city care home went from 75% to 100% occupancy in 5 months, with a 650K more forecasted revenue. I'm going to be about 20 minutes and maybe a little bit less. But if you can just have any questions as we go in Q&A, that would be great. It just means as we go, and I can just, pick up some questions towards the end. That would be wonderful. I'm Adam. I'm a founder of Spring Up PR, and we help care homes get more inquiries via PR and digital marketing. Now, let's get cracking straight in. So what's the care home? I'm not going to give you the real name because, to be honest, we've not signed an NDA and they prefer not to give their real name at this point. So it's New Mills Care Home, not the real name. It's a 39 bed residential home. It's in Bristol. The data, however, that I'll be showing you on this webinar today is for real. No, that is not the care home. That's an AI version of a care home. Anyway, it gives you a bit of a picture of a care home. Right, now this care home needed more inquiries. Why? Well, in March 2025, and these are all real numbers, their occupancy was 75%, 29 out of 39. There were a lot of significant competitors in the area, and they were very wary of this, and including increasing new builds, something you may be familiar with. The demand for care homes is actually increasing. So there are more, and as you know, you will know this, there are more new builds and more, yes, there are closures, but there are more care homes being acquired and built. Now, this particular care home wanted to move away from an over-reliance on local authority. They really wanted to focus more on privates. And it's more important to know the bit of background. They did not used to even have a website. So 6 months ago, they actually had their first website, and I'll be coming on to this in a moment. And 4 months ago, they wanted more inquiries, so they'd launched already a digital marketing strategy. So ultimately, more inquiries. So this is why they launched a digital marketing strategy. So that gives you a bit of context. Any questions as we go, please, in Q&A. Now, by August, they were full. Now, why is that? Well, first of all, there's the numbers from 29 to 39 to 39. 39 full. As of today, they are 38, but they've got one more admission coming in, anticipated next week. So why? Why did they become full? Well, yeah, to be honest, it's a lovely home. Yeah, have an excellent team. That's in their favour, of course. You're on care homes, you know how important that is. Inquiry generation had become a priority for them. Why? Because they have more rooms or beds to fill, they ultimately need more inquiries. That's just the logic. It's the maths. And importantly, they did have a strategy to get more inquiries. I can't emphasize this enough. Having a strategy, and I'll come to this a bit later on, is important. If you have a good, solid strategy, that's usually a big strategy. It's not like a Facebook page and carehomes.co.uk listing. These are the numbers. We will see a 90% success rate. That's increased inquiry, more leads, more inquiries, increased occupancy, or a mixture of all three. Yeah, 90% success. Now, this is very, very important, of course, because the home actually became good in January 2025. Yep, so before it requires improvement. Now, this could have had a very big impact, but 100% for sure. Now, often we find that it requires improvement at homes won't necessarily see a drop in inquiries, not necessarily. But obviously, this is a factor here for this particular home. All in all, they saw a 200% uplift in inquiries during these, from where they were to these. The total is around about 10 months, but the real leap in inquiries is over the last 5 months. Leap in occupancy is over the last 5 months. And this is an important number to know. 50% of the inquiries came via a new digital marketing strategy. Yeah, all it was tracked. So that 50% is based on tracked inquiries via digital marketing. That's what we do. So that's why I'm obviously emphasizing this. Any questions as we go in Q&A? Now, I just want to talk to you because that's what we do, and how this is we've actually helped this home is the digital marketing side. Yeah. You are responsible for all your wonderful care and handling inquiries. That's all what you do. So I just want to give you, now some of you may be doing Google Ads, some of you may not be doing. Let me know in Q&A if you are. Now, Google Ads was the engine, the digital marketing engine. It is not the be-all and end-all. 100% it's not, but it is the engine. And if you're wondering what Google Ads are, that's when you see the top of Google. If people are searching care homes in your catchment area, care homes near me, yeah, these are the kinds of ads. And here is another example. It has one with a photo. This one here with a photo is a real care home. I'm using this right now. It's actually doing well. That particular ad. Now, just going back for those of you who are not doing Google Ads right now as the engine. I repeat, it's the engine. It's not the be-all and end-all. But of course, this is when families show intent. They're making these kind of searches on Google. Google is still the search engine of choice. If you want to know, by the way, how to do all of this, I've got loads of videos on our YouTube channel. Go and check it out. You will learn masses, I promise you, by going and checking out any of these videos here. Any questions as we go in Q&A, please. Now, remember, I said to you on this description of this web, I will provide you with one secret, which we did not know at the time, that meant that this particular care home I'm talking about dramatically increased its inquiry numbers. And this is kind of exclusive to you on this webinar today, is having your website as an inquiry generating website on mobile phones. So what I mean by that is go and check out your website now on how it looks on a mobile phone. Why? Now, if you are running this digital marketing system with Google Ads as the engine, 75%, and this is how it was for this home, of those website visits from Google Ads came to the mobile phone. Yeah. So just remember what that is. It's people looking for your care home online, finding details of it via an ad, and then clicking on that ad and going to your website. They're going to be seeing your website on mobile phone 75% of the time, as they did for this care home. And what we also found is that 50% of all inquiries, that's inquiries via the Google Ads system, came via brochure downloads. Why is that? I'll come on to that in a moment. And to be honest, we made sure that this home, that brochure downloads was an inquiry generating mechanism. People had to give their name, email, phone number on why they wanted the brochure in order to get that brochure in the first place. So it becomes an inquiry versus someone getting that brochure for free and not knowing who that is, not having that as an inquiry. Any questions as we go, please, in Q&A. And importantly, look at this number. 80% of those brochure downloads came via mobile phone. So remember here, just going back up to this first number, 50% of all inquiries via Google Ads, brochure downloads. And of those brochure downloads, 80% were via mobile phone. That's people seeing your website on a mobile phone. And therefore, the conclusion of this is you must turn your mobile phone into an inquiry generator. Yeah, what I mean by this is your website as it's seen on a mobile phone. That's the conclusion. Now, we're continuing to test this, but this is what we found for this care home. And to be honest, it wasn't planned, but we believe that, and we are testing it, we believe that for this care home, this is a significant finding. We do this the whole time in terms of trying to work out what websites perform best with Google Ads for care homes. Yeah? So I'm sharing this with you now. Now this, if you're wondering, what a care home website might look on a mobile phone, this is how it is for Hallmark, Banstead Hall Manor. This is not the client, not the care home we're talking about on this webinar, to be clear, but there it is. You see, that's what it looks like. That's the first impression. A family member looking online for a care home, going via Google Ads to your website as it's seen on a mobile phone. So go and check out how yours looks like. I'm going to come into this more in a moment. So again, back onto New Mill Care Home, which is what this webinar is about. This is real data. I'm showing you real data here. Now, forgive me, I know it is small, but you can see here the mass of, and these are real live inquiries to this care home. You can see here it's all about brochure requests. Remember I said on the previous slide, 50% inquiries were coming via brochure requests and 80% of them via mobile phone. There they all are. That's proof there. And this is from April to August 2025. Now, what I want to show you now is here is actually the website page as it looks on a mobile. But, yeah, because I want to give you the mobile phone look, not for the home I'm talking about, New Mill Care Home on this webinar, but this is a clone of it. Now this is very, very important. This is how it looked on the mobile phone. And I want to draw out a number of elements here as to why we think this mobile phone website, a website as it looks on the mobile phone, is doing very well for inquiry generation. And this is our assumptions at the moment. We are still testing it, but I want to share this with you now. You have to think about the psychology of the care seeker. So here it is someone, yeah, who is looking for a care home, in this case in the Macclesfield area. So again, it's very, very clear. If they see this on their mobile phone, they'll see, yeah, it's a Macclesfield care home. Yeah, number one, very, very important. It's made crystal clear, especially on a mobile phone when time and attention is less. It has a nice positive image on the mobile phone. Yep, you see here, this is a positive image. It's a good feel, a happy resident, smile on their face, enjoying things. These first impressions are so, so vital. This is why we think this one has done particularly well. It's crystal clear. It's crystal clear here that this is a people are looking for a care home in a catchment area. That's it. And it's crystal clear that this is a care home within Macclesfield. Even more importantly, it's in Bolingbroke. And also automatically, we've got this idea of trust. Discover why you should choose this care home in Macclesfield, trusted by so many families across the Bolingbroke area since 1997. Yeah, if you're a new build, yeah, you won't have this for sure since 1997. So again, you're building trust here. So these are first impressions that people will get. And this is very, very important here. This easy call to action, this download a brochure. You're saying to someone here, don't worry, you don't have to call me now. You don't have to send me an email. Just get a brochure. Yeah, that's the first step. It's an easy first step. No commitment from me as someone looking for care, having to make a call, explain myself, go through the details. Yeah, but if you make an inquiry generation, you've got their name, email, phone number, and why they wanted a brochure for you then to follow them up. And the care home that's featured on this webinar, they made conversions, i.e. admissions, from brochure downloads, attributed to the brochure download. By the way, if you are doing a digital marketing solution, if you are using Google Ads, make sure you have a real person live chat. I've given you a transcript here of live chat, and you can see here. I'm not going to go into the details on this, but I want the message I want to convey. If you have a good real person live chat on your website, that's not AI, that's not bots, that's a real person from, let's say, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Those are the times that people make inquiries from Monday to Sunday. I promise you will get more inquiries this way. Like guaranteed, for some people, a real person live chat is easier and quicker than emailing you or phoning you. So by the way, if you want more details on this, just DM me, let me know, and I can send you more details. I don't, on this webinar, I don't particularly want to go, just for time reasons, don't want to go into more detail, but just let me know and I can help you out here. By the way, and so much of the numbers I'm featuring on this webinar is because everything is tracked. So many times people say, oh, it's impossible to track how many inquiries are getting by Google Ads. That's all rubbish. You can track. So what that means is you just need to get tracking, and you'll then know exactly how your Google Ad inquiries were generated via phone, via live chat, via brochure downloads, by contact us form, by booking a visit forms on your website, via emails coming in directly from your website. And if you're wondering how to do it, well, it's all Google code, widgets, and human intelligence. But tracking is absolutely vital. If you want to be able to understand all the numbers that are real numbers that I've been talking about here in this webinar. There you go. That's a bit of code for you. So we're doing pretty well on time. We're around 17 minutes. I said it'll be 20 minutes. So I just want to summarize. And please, any questions you've got, just please put them, as I said, in Q&A or chat. So here we go, from March to July 2025 for Newmills Care Home, real life data, Google Ad spend 5,837 tracked inquiries. I repeat, by all these mechanisms I showed you previously, which is an ad spend per inquiry of £162. So those are the numbers. And I just want to go back to the full summary is that March 2025, occupancy 75%, August 39, which is a potential revenue gain at 1,250 per week for a resident per week, which is 250k if the care home retains that full occupancy for 12 months. So, what are the main takeaways for you as a care home provider? Well, as you know, the logic, if you want to increase occupancy, you need more inquiries. Now, that's just the logic. That's just the maths, correct? So you just need a strategy, not hope. I often speak to care home providers and I say, well, we're just hoping things will change. Hope's not a strategy. Have a strategy and then things will change. It's really, really important, however, that you have buy-in from owners, directors, your care home manager and your team for inquiry generation and promoting your home in an impactful way. Everyone needs to buy in, because it's inquiry generation, it's speed of handling of inquiries, it's conversion. The whole machine needs to work as one. So that buy-in is, we do this the whole time, and that's so vital. Learn from other care home providers. Learn from what they have done. There's so many forums and colleagues that you can learn from who've been there, done that, and got results. Another thing as well, I would say, again, this is just what we've learned, is that, as I mentioned at the top, having a Facebook page, having a website is not going to move the needle. Having a listing on an online directory is not going to move the needle big time. So that's why, to generate more inquiries and have an impact, generally you have to think bigger. And if you do, and this is the data that we have on our end, 90% success rate. What does that 90% success rate mean? More leads, more inquiries, increased occupancy, or a mixture of all of those. Thank you. Well, I've been exactly 20 minutes, well, about 21 minutes. So thank you so much. Please fire away with some questions now in Q&A. By the way, if you're wondering if this is any work for you, just please apply for a free inquiry Zoom call. Just email that one or text that number and we'll get that going. I promise you there's no yucky pitching if you want to have that Zoom call. We don't take everyone, just to be clear, but if you'd like to apply from it, just please do that. So I hope that was of value to you and helpful. Now please fire away with any questions you have, as I mentioned in the Q&A. We've got some, since we started, I see some more of you have joined. And John, you wanted to go to, how can you get started on the live chat? Okay, all right, so let me see if I can get back to that. Well, I won't get back to that page, but I think, well, to cut to the chase, we do have someone we would recommend, and if you want me to make an intro, very happy to do that. It is real person. There's a lot of live chat right now. Where does AI come in? Bots. This is a care home sector. We know for speaking to AI or bots. So our recommendation would just don't do it. No one wants to speak reality right now. No one wants to speak to a bot. No one wants to speak to an AI person. If you're dealing with care homes, you want to speak to a real person. So that would be our recommendation on that. If you'd like me to make an intro to the provider that we use, very happy to do that. They work in this care sector and they are really good. So, and thank you. So, Javier, the question, thank you, let me read this out. On the cost per inquiry, what does that mean? Okay, all right, let me go back to that. So, forgive me. Here we go, I'm going back here. Oh, right, okay, so what this means is that, and this is real live data, I do repeat, this was Google ad spend, so that's if you are running Google ads, that is the total amount that was spent. And this is inquiries, that's the total number of inquiries that was generated. And you remember I said in a previous slide that you have to be able to track. So this is 100% attributing inquiries. That's not not job inquiries, that's not something else, that's a care home related inquiry to that individual care home attributed to the Google ad. And so if you just divide this number here by this number here, this is the ad spend per inquiry. So then you have to think, are you willing to spend, and this is where the maths comes in, £162 per ad spend, and a resident might be worth in total lifetime fees. I know you're all about care in terms of total lifetime fees. They may be anywhere between 60,000 and 200,000 in lifetime revenue and fees. So then you have to make a calculation as to whether you would spend £162 in ad spend to get a new inquiry. I'll leave you to figure that one out. And I had another question here. Michael, is 1,100 per month a normal spend for Google Ads to have impact? Great question. Yeah, I would say a minimum of 1,000. Now, you can start off with less. The key number to bear in mind is this number here, ad spend per inquiry. So once you know that, then you can decide whether you want to increase if you're happy with the ad spend per inquiry, whatever it may be, then you have the option of increasing the ad spend. I can tell you right now, this care home, New Mills Care Home, they were at 1,000 and now they are at 1,600. Why? Because they knew what their ad spend per inquiry was, and then they wanted to get even more inquiries. So they increased their ad spend, and the ad spend per inquiry remained the same. So per month, you're spending 1,000 to 1,600, you're getting more inquiries, and the ad spend per inquiry has stayed the same. Really, really interesting. I'm not saying that's going to be for everyone. I've given the real life data for this care home. So that's a great question. 800 minimum. I wouldn't start less than 800. Again, why? Because you want to do this properly and be committed. Really good question. Thank you. So another question from Richard. I know you didn't mention it here, but have you had any luck with doing press releases and using distribution services? All right. So yeah, I know I didn't mention it. And number one, by the way, don't use distribution services. Just pitch your stories to real journalists. So for example, Richard, you'll probably have any one of the catchment areas of your home. You'll have the BBC TV, BBC Radio, ITV, and you'll have your regional newspapers. You'll have the online outlets. You're going to have a finite number of media, probably 5 or 6. Every one of those is going to have a named journalist. Pitch to them directly, and don't use distribution services. Why? Because you can pitch the journalist directly. Just do that. That'll be the way. Michael, how do you distinguish between real inquiries from people looking for a job? That's a great question. So, by the tracking. So if you get, for example, a phone call and it's come via Google Ads, you have to track that phone call and then you have to record it. Yeah, that's how you track. So then by the tracking and the recording, then you will see, all right, so on Saturday at 3 p.m. a call came to the care home. It's been recorded and you listen to it. And to be honest, you can use, in this case, AI to make a transcript of the call. And then you can find out whether it's a job inquiry or a care home inquiry. Same again for the live chat, same again for the emails, same again for the brochure downloads. You track it, you check out what the details of that brochure download was or the details of that email, and you just find out by looking at it, by tracking as to whether it's a job inquiry or a care home related inquiry. So that's how you do that. So thank you so much. It's exactly half an hour. Thank you, Peter.